Okay guys, I hope you're ready for another reaction video. This has been submitted actually on the Discord by Grimlock, aka Joshua Landers, and he said it's not his video, he just wants to see how I react to it. I saw the title of the video. It's from LA Airsoft, and I think that's LA Kappa Customs, so like the company that make a ton of different like aftermarket parts for the Hi-Capa, the one that sponsors Eddie Valiant that like he built out of the build video we did. So he said this is a building with LA Kappa Customs, so I presume LA Airsoft and LA Kappa Customs are the same, even though it's a slightly different name. So that's what I'm presuming anyway. If I'm wrong, put me right. But this video looks like it basically is going to be a build video, and he said he wants to see how I react. I'm planning out building a Hi-Capa right now and seeing what we're going to build. But LA Airsoft, let's actually have a look quickly. Let's just see. Hold on. LA Airsoft is one of the largest manufacturer of aftermarket parts. Okay, so it is. It is actually the manufacturer themselves. So let's have a look. And let's see what this insane Hi-Capa build is going to be.
Hey guys, it's Hutton with LA Airsoft, and today we are going to be making the Build for Champions.
Build for Champions. I like the sound of that. Hit the bell, by the way.
All right, guys, in honor of Oklahoma City Thunder winning the NBA now. Oklahoma
City Thunder winning the NBA. I thought it was going to say something about like an Airsoft team there. So that looks like a 4-point. It's a short Hi-Capa, isn't it? 4.3.
We are going to do a OKC inspired pre-build for you guys using our brand new cobalt color matte.
Okay, so it's going to be colorful. That's what I'm going to say right now.
Slide and magwell. This is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful slide.
But when you scratch it, it will look awful.
So we've gone ahead and laid out all of the upper parts, and we're just going to be installing all the different sections.
So no lower.
So to start off with, all we're going to need, this is a pretty simple pre-build. I will be talking through more of the install as we are doing it, because it's been a while since I have done one of these pre-build videos. But we are mainly just doing the kind of essential upgrades that I recommend. So we're going to break apart the upper. I'll set the lower to the side for now. And all we are going to need out of it is the hop-up. So I'll remove those 2 screws.
The hop-up unit.
And then we will get the nozzle, so we can use the nozzle internals with the LA Kappa nozzle.
So why is it LA Airsoft? They changed their name.
On the upgrades, obviously a stock Tokyo Marine base. We have a couple other things from Waldo and PDI thrown in there as well.
So maybe that's an inner barrel. PDI.
So there is the hop-up unit installed. We'll now break open the back here.
Yeah, he's done this so many times. I would have to be like starting and stopping this multiple times per second. Like, what is he doing?
Now I need to undo this top screw as well.
It's very similar to like an AAPO1 in terms of the breakdown, I feel like.
And now I can pop out the nozzle.
So did he just like separate, like kind of plastic pull that upper rail, as in the slide, to like get that out? Because obviously if that's metal, you can't do that. And it seemed like he almost like popped it out by like just kind of teasing that plastic away.
By pulling the slide apart, popping it out.
Yeah.
And now I can set this one over here, and we'll take the internals out of it.
Is that how you're supposed to do it?
I can set the slide stub over here as well.
So you see he's got his thread lock.
And start with the hop-up setup. Very simple LA Kappa bucking PDI 118 barrel. I prefer the 118 because it goes right up to the end of the 5.1 barrels that we have.
So it is a 5.1. I feel like that was smaller to me. It just looked like a shorter, more compact.
Really nice extra little FPS boost as well as accuracy boost for no real downside. So I normally prefer the PDI 118 over the 113 for that reason. And then our flat hop bucking has been my go-to for quite some time. Really, really great design. We've sold thousands and thousands of these, and they have had some really good feedback for them. So I'll slide in the barrel now to the hop-up unit. We will put in the arm, then we will put in the other side. And then
kind of just want this guy to build me one, because I can imagine just losing the screw, messing it up.
It's not. And then we can simply just screw it back together. I like to not screw one screw fully, so I like to screw the front one in just a bit until I start to feel any sort of tension, and then I'll screw the back one in fully, and then I'll screw the front one in fully, just so you get a pretty even seal when you're installing it. Okay, so now we can increase up a little bit. Now for our outer barrel, I'm sure many of you know, but our outer barrel system is pretty unique in the fact that it has O-ring stabilizers in them.
That's good. I don't want it in the barrel.
I put one O-ring in the front, which is already installed in the front of the outer barrel there to give a good seal. And then you can put 1 or 2 on the inner barrel and then install it like so.
Push it in.
And then that prevents any sort of rattling between the hop up and the outer barrel. And as you can see, great stabilization on the front of the inner barrel as well to increase accuracy. So that's our hop up setup done. Moving on to the guide rod setup. This is where I'll start to get out some lube. I like to put a decent amount of medium Waldo lube on the guide rod for that recoil spring to be able to recoil back and forth on. I can spread.
I feel like that's going to get scratched up with the spring on top of it, isn't it?
Slide, it sits nicely.
That orange is going to get disintegrated.
And then for the short stroke kit, I like to do big, washer, little. Let me go with little.
I presume that's going to be hidden inside the replica.
Little, washer, big,
washer.
So this is my preferred setup for the short stroke myself. And then
plus it looks pretty.
The ring, there's a Delrin ring inside the guide plug. I'll put that in. It improves stabilization. Have it be pushed down all the way into the slot. There we go. And then push this on. Can't forget the recoil spring. We're using a Waldo 130. It matches nicely with the weight of the slide mixed with the turbo outer barrel.
See, this is all the stuff I won't know.
And then we are still using the stock rear sight.
Which thing is like matching, like in terms of the weight? Like what spring should I get for what weight of like actual thing? And unless you're one of these guys or you regularly do Hi-Capa builds, I feel like it's going to be very hard to know that.
For this build. So this is the hop up.
I suppose you could ask what they recommend. Maybe I'll do that.
I will also grab that rear sight. And while I'm undoing the nozzle internals by doing this screw, I'm
surprised they're not doing an aftermarket nozzle.
Long-form videos, so I would love to showcase some more builds that we're doing and putting on our store for you guys, and also just to get your feedback on what kind of builds you want to see next.
I want to see a 6mm Badger build.
Where we are at with parts right now, both
custom
stock availability from a lot of vendors as well as for the LA
channel colors
customs line. Really great parts, really good quality as well. Like we have really worked through a lot of iterations and are now really bringing to market some great designs, both for Hi-Capa and then starting to bring out a rifle line as well. So if you aren't too familiar, really can't go wrong with the upgrades of the LA Capa Customs products. As you can see, really from this build video, everything is super plug and play. I mean, it just kind of all fits really well together. And a few years
if you're
ago,
this guy,
it
does. I don't know if I'm
I
doing
didn't
it.
manufacture my own products. Was not quite as frequent to be able to find things that just fit and work together as well as our products do, with not only each other but also other parts and TM stuff as well.
Yeah, if it's not TM though, how well does it work? Because there's variants, isn't there, from like what manufacturer you're using?
And as you can see, how the nozzle works. So just changing it out to our shell. Our shell has a bit better durability than the stock and also provides a really good seal with our bucking. So you actually get more FPS than you do with the stock nozzle, which is pretty hard to find with aftermarket nozzles
you mess
in
up
general.
TM magic.
So really good feature there. Now we'll get our blowback unit set up. I'm also very plentiful on the lube of the nozzle, but I like to wipe down the outside of the nozzle so that lube does not get in the bucking.
And then you get rid of your hop-up
now we're going to match the O-rings to our specific nozzle. I find that the medium ones typically work the best. So yeah, these are the thick ones, and let's compare. These should be the mediums. So I'll try 2 mediums first, and then I'll see if that's too tight. I'll switch to the rear one being one of our thinnest ones, just to give it a little bit more.
Yeah, see, like this bit of knowledge, I just don't have this at all. I can listen to what he's saying.
So yeah, guys, we'd love to hear from you what parts you want to see, what new pre-builds you want to see. We really want to start doing a lot
Badger
more content on YouTube.
Custom
Unfortunately,
build.
the social media restrictions from other platforms has been pretty terrible for us in the airsoft industry. So excited to move, hopefully, to some new platforms and get some good engagement from that. So yeah, this is pretty tight for sure. So I'm gonna try possibly just 2 of the smaller ones. It just depends on how everything's machined. That's why we provide 3 different types for you guys.
Get the lube on it, lube it up.
And I can take these out.
What was Valiant's thing? Give it a little sip.
Small ones in.
Is that it? Sip. Give it a sip.
Okay. And yeah, that's good. Provides some suction, but
he's gonna get a
can definitely
thicker
run
one
freely. I'll try to do the front one, the bigger one, and then we'll see if we like that. Yeah, I like that setup a lot. It's nice and suctioned, but not over to where it can't move. Perfect. Okay. So now we're ready to get all the extra bags and such out of the way and install the cylinder into the blowback unit. Now you have to Loctite this screw, so I'm gonna put a decent amount of Loctite on it.
I always hate Loctite. I put far too much on it always. That looks like far too much to me.
You'll have to let us know what you think of our new Cobalt line as well. I think it turned out really, really good. The finish on our PVD shiny colors is absolutely insane. No one really has that level of finish in the industry. Just super shiny finish, can't really go wrong. Awesome colors, and we're only going to be
very
releasing
cool.
more parts in these finishes.
But I'm worried that it scratches and it kind of loses that mystique.
Put in our nozzle, and an AIP 140 nozzle spring is what we chose to use for this build. Awesome. So now we're ready to throw everything in the slide here. We'll start with the blowback unit. So I like to sit it sort of up in that channel, but first
got that logo on the
rear
top.
sight fits. Sometimes the stock one is a little bit tight, just kind of the way the stock one was made, so we might have to do some minor adjustments, but could be okay. Need to move the screw way out of the way.
Squeeze.
And yeah, I'm gonna take off just a little bit of this rear sight so that we can properly get it on, but so that it still has a snug fit with the gun. That's kind of just part of it. You want these things to fit nice and tightly so there's not a lot of room to move around. So just slight fitment needed to get, normally the stock rear sight is the one that's a little bit tight in this case.
So what's he doing, a Dremel?
All right, we're back. Just very, very minimal shaving on our rear sight.
What did you
really
use?
On the stock rear sight to get it to slide in nicely. I'll go ahead and lower the screw a little bit, but
I want to see what he
lower it
did
too
though.
much until we've
That's
installed the blowback unit.
because now I don't know.
Now we can slide in this
do.
rear sight, push up the blowback unit into the slot, and then we can put down this rear screw to make sure everything is held nice and tight. Now we can reduce this rear sight. And everything fits nice and tightly now. There we go. Okay, now to put in the front, very simple.
Must be quite a bit heavier than the stock because obviously it's not plastic
Throw in the
anymore.
guide rod setup. And we have a really, really cool cobalt blue PVD with some orange accents. Our last piece is to throw on the front sight. I
like the top of that rail, how it's kind of like there's no attachment to the middle bit.
Front sight, very, very tiny Allen key, and we have a screw that actually goes into the front sight and then down into the little hole on the slide itself. So the front sight simply goes into the little hole right here. Or the front sight slides on, and then the screw gets screwed into the little hole right there. So what I will first do is put Loctite on the screw, and then I can actually install it into the slide. So I put a dab of Loctite, put the front sight on, try to center it the best I can, and then I'll simply...
So they sell an outer barrel with the front sight, so like match up.
So we really want to do more of these theme builds and kind of create some stories behind the builds. We also have invested into a laser engraver, so we want to do a little bit more custom work as well. So like
6mm
cool
Badger
superhero patterns, or names and for teams and gear
Channels.
and whatever. So we want to get a little bit more custom for you guys and be able to offer more services. So have spent some money to invest in some of those things for you guys, and really just kind of create a lot of one really cool designs. Also planning to do a little bit more Cerakote and anodizing work as well, with some partners that we have. So really excited for some of the cool, custom features we have coming up.
Okay, you're gonna get me excited.
And then fiber, I will save that for the end, but we will do green, so I'll set the rest for the side. And now, this is our finalized upper. Really cool.
I don't know if it goes that well with the black lower though, does it?
Accents, and then we will get into the lower now. So now we will get into the lower. So first I'm gonna break it apart because we have to change the hammer. So I'll get these safeties up and pop them out.
Oh, so they're putting a colored hammer in.
We really try to only upgrade things that, some are just aesthetic, but a lot of just kind of our optimal performance for the budget, both externally and internally. So
wonder how many of these he's taken apart.
Open the grip screws.
Like it must be in the hundreds at least.
And we will break apart the frame from the grip. So we will leave a full product breakdown in the description. So if you want to see what parts we used and also maybe do something either similar colors or different color scheme but same parts, we will leave you a easy guide to follow. In terms of new products coming up, I know you guys always like to hear about what we have coming up.
Oh.
Probably the coolest and best designed slide ever. So I won't spoil too much, but really cool collaborative partner for this slide, and a really unique design to the slide that you guys have never seen before. So
6mm Badger.
Really cool. That'll be coming out Q3 of this year, 2025. Just continuing to do improvements to our Hi-Capa parts. We're releasing some PVD frames pretty soon as well. Some new styles of some Hi-Capa parts as well coming. And then we are expanding greatly into the rifle scene, uppers, lowers, all the little parts in between, everything from hop-ups to mag catches. And we're really taking our time and doing it the right way.
Complicated lower, isn't it?
Very excited for all of the manufacturing we have coming up this year. Changed a lot of processes and really happy with where we are. So now
wonder
I'm
what rifles they're going to do.
Pen out of the hammer and then throw
There's
it
gas
back
or
into this hammer.
AEGs.
So this is actually very easy. I just took a little mallet here and a pin. We did a smaller size, but got that sit flush. I'm going to put a little bit of medium Waldo lube on this as well. And that is all we are changing for the frame, trying to keep it pretty affordable on this build. Hopefully, whether you're an OKC fan or not, you can still appreciate this build and really cool color scheme, and we would love for y'all to pick it up. But yeah, I have some good friends that are OKC fans, so it felt like it was appropriate too. And maybe in the future, or if the customer, whoever buys this, wants some custom kind of OKC memorabilia engraving on it, we can definitely offer those services as well.
I mean, not that.
So if you are watching this when it comes out and you like this build, you can pick it up. We'll be available on our store at the time this video drops. And if you guys do want some kind of custom engraving, whether that's the OKC logo or something completely not related,
we get the George logo on there.
Offer those services now, so just reach out to us. And
get George Hi-Capa.
Correlated.
See what they build.
Get you all set
Say,
up.
hey, this was George the Pomeranian.
So we'll install the frame again.
Presume it'd be orange.
Pieces.
That would be
then
cool.
Move on to my least favorite part, which is changing out the trigger.
Give him the George patch and say, please copy
annoying
this.
with the pens, but should be okay.
There's a George patch somewhere.
Put in the other side of the safety. Awesome. We do, if you are new, we do offer custom build services as well. $100 flat fee, no matter if you're getting $400 worth of upgrades or $1,500.
That's actually really good.
So we try to make it really affordable for you guys doing this flat fee method. So if you are interested, check out our website. Very easy. Just select all the parts you want, make it a custom build item, and we will get this thing built, pictured, and sent out to you guys.
So presumably they'll
take
do the
pen, and then we'll open up the trigger assembly.
They'll do the base. You just buy the base Hi-Capa from them, and then they'll do it.
And I will take out.
Any ideas, guys? If I should ask them to just build something, whether it's a 6mm Badger Hi-Capa or a George one.
There we go.
I want to know
and
them.
then our triggers fall right out. So I need to then very carefully remove this pin and then install our trigger on the stock trigger bar.
There's so many
installed
parts.
The trigger, just took it out with a small pin, and then installed the new trigger here. Also put in the little screw. Be sure to Loctite this screw so that you can make the adjustments, but it'll still stay in place. So now I'll put it in the grip, and I will make any slight bending I need to in the trigger bar setup so that it free falls. Our triggers normally are shaped pretty nicely to just be able to kind of fall in but fit pretty tight. So I like to move the trigger bar around with my finger, try to get that perfect fit. And then if you need to, you can do some slight modification and shaving so that it fits but free falls.
I would definitely think it's worth $100 to get this guy to do it.
So literally I just bent the trigger quite a bit, back and forth, and now as you can see it'll free fall. So I didn't have to shave the grip or anything. Our trigger fits super nicely to the grip. Just the stock trigger bar kind of deforms easily in installation, so you have to bend it back. You just want to make sure that trigger looks straight on whenever you are installing it, and then it will free fall.
Let's just see what this looks like together.
So now we'll open up our frame, and last step is to change out our hammer spring. So first off, we're using the Cal Trident sear spring. This sear spring is awesome for lightening your trigger pull. And then we're also using the Cal hammer spring. So we are getting rid of this stock hammer spring. My preferred setup is 3 of each washer, then the gold spring, and then the topper without the bottom piece. I'm not a big fan of the bottom piece, just the way that it makes the gun feel differently.
The more he's talking, the less I'm thinking I should build it myself. That's what I'm going to say.
Or decreases the trigger pull.
Just do an unboxing of them.
If you like a light trigger pull, definitely I recommend our hammer, our sear, or the stock sear is fine too. The Cal Trident sear spring, and then this hammer spring setup. So I'll put 6 of these washers on, something I can put it on circular, and then I'll drop them in to the bottom of the hammer spring. And then they literally just fall in perfectly. Then put the gold spring in, then I'll put the topper in, and then this top piece, or this top pin, and then I'll push down, and there we go. Dramatically lightened up, very easy. $25 between these two, I think less than, and dramatically decreases your trigger pull strength, so highly recommend that. So now I'll sit our frame and our grip back together, put in our new Hi-Capa grip screws.
I'm going to go to their website after I stop filming this video.
Color on them. There we go. Now,
I see that they put like orange screws. It's quite cool.
You can't see. Sure the little strut of the hammer sits above it, but it sits on top of both the sear and the disconnector. That's very important that it sits on top of the sear and disconnector. I'll then push this down, rotate the hammer down so it locks out, and then I can put in the hammer spring, and you want to make sure that the strut sits in the middle of the hammer spring area, like that, and can be spring tensioned. From there, I'll put on our shiny cobalt magwell, looking awesome.
Is that the same color as the slide? I feel like it looks lighter.
And we'll give it a small little tap.
Tap it in.
Okay.
Name the film.
This works. Looks awesome. Such a light trigger pull. I mean, our hammer, Trident sear spring, Cal hammer spring is such a good setup. So I'll put in this top screw. And again, with the Hi-Capa parts, it's just so easy. Everything just fits together and works.
But you did have to like
really
shave the
again, could not have asked
sight.
for better kind of just install process here. Everything's meant to fit tight and fit well and work well, but also just without much hassle. Okay.
Not sure about this background music.
So this works.
Elevator music.
And we'll put in our mag catch, and then we will set our trigger reset. So it still works. So now what I like to do is I'll take the Allen key that I use to adjust, and I will sort of stick it in there and adjust the screw until I get it to basically not shoot anymore. So you want to turn it clockwise so that it'll continue to go outwards.
So you're doing the trigger adjustment. So you'll do it until it doesn't shoot and then rotate it like half a thing back.
You just want to go until the trigger stops actuating and then back out slightly. Yeah. So I will do that real quickly.
So that it's like a hair trigger.
So now whenever I pull the trigger, it actuates, but it doesn't go any further. So if I do this short, see how it actuates and then it will not travel any further. It doesn't move any further. It's exactly what you want. So really happy with this. Last step, I'm gonna take some thin lube. Don't want to go overboard, but you can always wipe off the excess later. Then I will throw this slide on there, and our slides are meant to just sit really nice. Now I will put in our mag release, or slide catch, sorry. And here we go. The OKC build of champions.
That's pretty cool.
Build here. I will get some CO2 HPA set up, and then we will shoot it.
What do you think the cost is? Should we go to the website and check it, see if we can find it?
All right, guys, the build is complete.
See what they charge.
I decided to do a few things. I added a mag catch here that is orange, just thought it matched the theme better. I put in the front fiber, and I did add a couple more of those washers to give the proper hammer strength. But yeah, this build, super lightweight, shoots super hard. Super happy with how this turned out. Beautiful kind of Thunder-esque build. Will also just being really cool as well. Celebrate the NBA Finals. Hoping to do more of these pre-builds very, very soon. And so you guys can see us shoot before we end the video.
HPA. That's pretty cool.
Super, super, super snappy. Sounds great, shoots great. Really built right with these LA Kappa Custom pieces, of course.
To me, that just doesn't sound quite right.
All of
you know, like, I think it's just the camera, but it's like...
Or LAAirsoft.com.
I know, it's the same with Eddie Valiant, and that's how he won
competitions with it. Or we can build it for you. So yeah, this has been Sutton from LA Airsoft. We plan on doing a lot more of these in the near future. We will see you in the next one.
Okay, so is it LA Airsoft or LA Kappa Customs? Let's go here. Come on, let's check this out. Get this build now. What are you thinking price? I'm thinking 700. 750. Ooh, not bad. Okay, it is sold. Someone has sold it. Someone has bought it. So yeah, it's a 5.1 Tokyo Marui gas blowback. Had all these extra bits on it. Should we see what else they have in terms of airsoft guns, gas blowback pistols? I want their custom ones. Airsoft Essentials. Where's the ones they've built? Because that's what I really want. Hi-Capa, Agate upper parts. Pre-builds. Yes, that's what we want. Okay, so they only have 4 of them. Standard Hi-Capa pre-build, the Steel Maiden, Poison Fire Hi-Capa. That's $1,500. Okay, this is the expensive one. Let's check this one out. I mean, it's not my style, but it is definitely pretty cool. Like, what is that? They've done like Cerakoting kind of like across the barrel and on that red piece. Okay, I'm kind of tempted to be like, hey, what can we make in terms of a 6mm Badger here? I'll just give you a budget, build me something sick, and just see what they come up with. I don't know. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on that. Anyway, guys, I'll put a link to the video below and also to LA Airsoft. What's the website technically? So it's LAAirsoft.com. So I'll put a link to LAAirsoft.com and that video and their channel. But I don't know if you enjoyed me kind of like experiencing and kind of getting more knowledge on this as opposed to watching gameplay. Let me know that as well. And hit the bell. Bye-bye.